Session 21.
Session 22.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because I on the thing I have a session 0. I'm listing session 0. Yeah.
Oh, also, did you end up combining the last two sessions?
I did. I edited them together. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so okay. So that was at session 20.5.
So yeah, right. Exactly.
This is session 21. Roger that.
We're on the same page.
Jason, can I just ask a technical game question?
Yeah.
I think you leveled up last time, and I don't know what kind of hit die to roll for her since she's a multi-class character.
Oh yeah, you might have the old Magic User book. And I will tell you.
Get more hit points when we level
I think
up?
so. Did you guys just get level 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
How many hit points does Taimi have now? Like 20?
I don't know. I'll have to roll. I have 15 right now.
Yeah,
Right,
15. Jeez. Yeah, so I'll take you through has everybody leveled up to 5? I'll walk you through the process here. Gosh, I wonder if I didn't even. I updated the multi-class moves so that you get a new hit die when you switch out. So your hit die will be lower because you're a magic user, as well as a fighter.
Books.
What's that?
Spending so much time reading books instead of training with my
yeah, right. I'm just checking for the updated playbook. But in the meantime, we can take you guys through the level up process. I just printed out the new. Just printed out the new rules. There they are. Okay, level up. If your new level is odd, so you regain burned luck equal to your new level. So you all get 5 luck back. Increase your level by 1. And if your new level is odd, you mark 2 different abilities of your choice.
Oh.
And increase your maximum hit points by 1 roll of your hit die plus your Constitution modifier. And let's see here.
You said 2 different skills, 1 point.
2 different abilities you can mark. Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Jan, your hit die drops to a D8.
Okay.
What's mine, Jason?
You're just a fighter, right?
Yeah.
D10.
All right, I'm up to 14. Woohoo!
Wow. All right, that's good.
Yeah. Whew. That feels a little safer. There's no D14 monster attack.
Right. It only goes up to D12 with some, monster with a little damage modifier rolling high on a D12 could take you out. But those are big monsters.
Yeah.
Steer clear.
But Taimi's 22 HP? Wow.
Yeah, first roll is 7. Yeah.
Wow. Taimi can take the punishment.
Wow.
Put me in,
He's
coach.
so brave.
All right, here we are. You are at the Cave of the Beast, the old Cave of the Beast, where it all started. You're right here. Camped out with the cart now lighter with the absence of honeymead, used to ply the crew of Varpu, who is here. Varpu, after having been bested in a contest of strength with Paiviki, Paiviki, who very good-naturedly and was a very good sport about winning. Varpu apparently didn't take it so well. You get the impression that Varpu is not used to being on the losing end of things like that. Big, strong person, strong-willed, and physically very capable, and highly respected and looked up to by her gang. Who is here? Here's the gang.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I felt obligated to paint the picture a little more thoroughly, since Paiviki potentially might become the leader of this gang. You just need to know. You need to know who's on the roster, and I'll just tell you a couple things about each of them, so you have some sense of who they are. God, why is it so hard to find the things I need? Okay, Rolf the Smith, if you recall, Aseri from La Devisi, the bandit chief who's an ally of Varpu, returned at the end of our last session and reported that Naimi, one of his gang, was captured and killed by the word keepers in La Devisi. So Ralph the Smith was betrothed to Naimi. So this news hit him particularly hard. He is, everybody was really unhappy and mourned the loss of Naimi, but Ralph took it very poorly. So you guys have only known these people for a day and a half or whatever, but you've picked up a little bit about them in that time. Arno the tanner is the cook and quartermaster. His left leg below the knee is missing. So he is very agile at sort of hopping around, but he's in charge of like taking whatever supplies people have foraged and turning into meals for the whole gang. Taru the carpenter, he takes pride in his shabby clothing more than anybody else in the crew. The top three here are the ones that you get the impression Varpu kind of looks to the most for. They're almost like her three lieutenants, let's say. She talks to them before she talks to anybody in the lower tier there. Taru's background is as a carpenter. What you notice about him is that he, whenever they sit down to a meal, he's the one who has like oil dribbling down his chin, and he really kind of eats with gusto. And at one point, Muirin noticed him. There was like a little, tiny little mammal that sort of skittered from one rock to another, and Taru captured it under a tin cup, and then picked up the cup and like smashed the creature with his foot. So he seems to have a cruel streak. Oh yeah, the other thing about Rolf I forgot to mention is he has a pet scorpion.
Oh,
That it's like a pale, it's like a albino scorpion that he keeps in various places, and nobody else likes the scorpion. Everybody's always complaining about the scorpion, but
Ralph does?
yes, Ralph does. He appears tame, but nobody is happy about that. Maruka, if you recall, is from Reuna. So I gotta clear the. She was the one who you guys interacted with early on, who was like, "Oh, it's the heroes of Reuna. They've come back." She seems like a kind, decent person. Jalmeri is the one who was the first one Muirin encountered, if you recall. He was the guy that was coming back from a little trapping trip when Muirin ran into him. And John Jalmari is the guy that accompanied Taimi into the cave when Taimi went to check out the cave. And I think you have a bond with him, actually, because you had a little moment of exchange. But what you've noticed about Jalmari is when everybody else has stuff to do, he's the one that is the laziest, and people have to kick him off his butt to get him going. He's very charming, and Annika has sort of taken a kind of sly interest in him because of his charm. And he also seems very unhappy to be camping. He's, of everybody here, he's the least happy to be out here in the wild. Minea is quiet. You've barely heard her say 2 words. And Muirin, you noticed that Minea is by far the quietest and cleverest of everybody in the camp. Kind of an enigma, at least on after the time you guys have spent with her. But if anyone in this camp was going to be like a thief or a spy, it would be Minea. And then Voito, and you guys actually have heard of Voito before. He is someone who was mauled when he was younger by a wild animal from the Motherwood. And almost killed. So he's covered with scars. And this particular beast was considered, if anyone is ever attacked by this particular beast from the Motherwood, they're considered cursed. So Voito used to live in Rayuna and then basically ended up leaving because he was shunned, and lived in the wild until Varpu found him and took him into her gang. So that is the crew.
All right.
You're all camping with at present.
When Muirin was talking to Maruka, there was someone with her that kept on spilling the beans, who had loose lips.
Wait, so Maruka was talking to who?
Maruka, I think Muirin was talking to Maruka?
Yeah.
And she was basically, and she was with someone, and that person kept on being like, yeah, but then Varpu's gonna like hold back the Colkeen, and
yeah.
keep on being like, hey, shut up.
Right. That was Jalmari.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to know who has loose lips.
Yeah. That's Jalmari. Sorry, it should be Jalmari if we're speaking Finnish. Yeah, the laziest in terms of physical activity, and he's just like whichever way the wind's blowing, and if it's gonna get people interested, he'll gossip and do whatever. Yeah.
And Aseri just came back from Ladavesi.
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh yeah.
So Naimi was caught and executed by the word keepers there, but captured were Aseri's other 2 companions, which are Hela and Maiki. So they are currently under guard of the word keepers in Ladavesi.
And I think the other big news that Aseri told us that was a priest has been dispatched from the capital heading towards Rayuna.
That's right. Yeah, which is a big deal because the hands are. This is the first instance people have. Definitely, a hand has never crossed the Little River before, so this will be the first time a hand enters into this territory.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, you guys don't know enough to know how many hands there are, but they're clearly, a high-ranking administrative and religious figure. And Varpu is very unhappy about it, but also eager to take off the hand. Let's say.
Yeah. So, do we want to? And I think maybe in the spirit of our working together, we should come up with a group plan as to what we want to do. What do you guys think would be the most awesome course of action?
What is the most awesome?
Well, I think also there's like our plan, and there's also like what Varpu and Esseri want to do. But like for Taimi personally, I think that she was more inclined to free Rayuna first before heading to Lavarisi. I'm saying that right. Ledevisi. But with the knowledge that a hand is coming, that's too big of an opportunity. I think Taimi would be really interested in capturing the hand.
Ooh.
And like pumping them dry for information.
Oof.
Because you could get like a lot of administrative organizational stuff out of them. And so the idea that we would go to the other village first, we run the possibility that the hand comes, gets wind that we've done something, or gets wind of anything else, or like picks up the word bringers and then leaves. Like I think that it's too big of a chance. Taimi thinks it's too big of a chance to pass up.
Yeah, I mean, if we captured or killed the hand, it would be like a big slap in the face to the Korkeen. What do you think, Donna? What should we do?
Yeah.
I think that we are a formidable team. Just the three of us could definitely intercept. And yeah, I take this opportunity before Priest reaches Ryun.
Oh, so you think intercepting them on the road?
That's what I was thinking.
Mm.
Oh, that's what I thought you were saying. But
No, I was thinking cleaning out Rayuna, and then like, popping out of the proverbial bushes when they get there, thinking that it's going to be like full of ward keepers.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But I totally see the wisdom in that plan. I think that's totally in Taimi's hunter wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, hunt him down.
Yeah.
Stop him before he gets there, and then be able to hold that up to the. I mean, if we captured the hand, we could use him as a hostage for freeing Rayuna.
Yeah.
And that's probably not something that they're expecting. That'd be pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
Now I would imagine that the hand wouldn't be traveling alone.
No.
Unless the hand is just like a super wizard. Just like totally Sauron, just like smacks us aside. And in that case, it might be difficult, but it would be great to have a trap. It would be great to like have an ambush spot, knowing that they're going to come and then just,
Yeah, we don't know exactly when they'll come, but yeah.
Well,
just so you know, I do know exactly when they'll come. Like there is an actual.
We don't.
You do not know, but there is in the game world there is a timeline when the hand will arrive.
Sure.
Does Esseri know, or did he just hear about it?
No one in the camp has any clear idea. The estimate would be given when the kind of guard was sent out to deliver that message, or when after the message was received, I should say. I mean, maybe within a week, but hard to say.
I think in the short term, we need to make sure that nobody in Rayuna spills the beans that we're back. I think it would be much more effective if people don't think that we're still like gone or,
Hmm.
you know, or dead or whatever, if we're going to do something sneaky. If we want to have the village of Rayona rise up, then we want to show ourselves.
Sure.
But in the short term, Paiviki would really like to try to recover those books that we buried or left at
Mhm.
Marin's house, because they might have some spells that would be really useful and then that she could learn. I don't know if there's time for that. The idea of scouting and finding out what's happening in Rayona could be helpful in general. Maybe not if we're going after the hand, but
Yeah. What do people think about the idea that, like, if we engage the hand and most likely some form of escort, that we might be pincered by like Rayuna word keepers?
I don't think that they would know I mean, unless we lost the fight and had to run
Well,
away, then yes. But if
yeah.
we won the fight, I don't think that they would know that it had happened. I mean,
Okay.
unless they have some kind of psychic communication or some trick.
No, I think that's great. Oh, I mean, I also think that yeah, we just don't know. We don't know what we're messing with a hand.
No, we don't.
Um,
Isn't he like a priest or something? So he might have some special powers or
yeah,
connection to
The
Yeah.
the stories you've heard are that um, when a hand commands someone to do something, they do it.
Ooh.
Like that, the hand somehow can control people.
What would Murin want to do in Rayuna if we do like a stealth Metal Gear Solid mission?
Probably just observing and uh, taking note of who's okay, who's like needing help, where are the word keepers, like living. Yeah, so mostly this
Hmm.
reconnaissance aspect. I don't think Warren, well, because Warren's cabin isn't really in that town itself, I think.
It's on that. It's to the. Well, let's zip back to the town actually.
It was
Southwest.
like nearer to the
Yeah.
Motherwood, right?
Yeah. Your little hut is I think it was like over here
Something
where we
like that.
decided. Yeah.
I was wondering about leaning on some of Mirren's like poisoning tricks. If we could come up with another another way to trick them, like um, getting something into their food or something like that. But I think
Yeah.
you know, learning what they're up to would be good. Like instead of having to fight like 8 word keepers at the same time, if we could ambush like 3 of them or something, then we would divide their forces greatly, and then we could also get some more armor. And
Yeah, Murin sort of wanted to like sneak in. Like she didn't get any of the lock picking stuff yet, but she has sort of wanted to break into places. Uh, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. We could totally go in there and like fuck up their crossbows, and
Right.
if we can get Teeny to like basically keep people from causing trouble and not give them a reason to use their crossbows, then the sabotage might go unnoticed for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, the
Right.
other
I
thought I
mean,
had, go ahead, Donna.
oh yeah, they're pretty much as intimidating as their weapons. That was my feeling when we encountered them last.
The other thought I had was just how we would want to get the people of Rayuna on the same page. If we want it to be a surprise, um, getting word out to everybody who would be able to help in fighting them, so that it wouldn't just be us, but it would be anybody else in Rayuna could rise up together. So somehow figuring out how to spread that word to everybody when the time comes. I mean, I think that maybe having a secret meeting with Teeny and letting her figure that out and do that carefully, not tell anybody who'd be likely to gossip or something like that. What do you guys think as just a tentative plan of like doing reconnaissance, giving word to Teeny, seeing what's happening in town, trying to get those books back? But I don't know what all this means in terms of uh, the bandit. I can't remember her name right this second.
Barpu?
Barpu's and her folk. How we want to work with them. If we want to try to get their crew to come with us on an ambush of the hand, or wait until after we've captured them, if we can.
I mean, let's make the pitch. They haven't communicated to us a clear plan. I mean, Barpu kind of agreed with Paiviki's initial assessment of like, oh, we go and we do Ledevisi, and then we work our way back to Rayuna. Yeah, Ledevisi. And then, so that might just be the default plan, but we haven't even heard how Barpu has reacted to the news of the hand.
Yeah. I like the plan of going after the hand, because right now they seem to be focusing on La Divisi and like trying to squash the rebellion that was there, so that they may not be thinking about Rayuna or the road to up to Rayuna very much. We might be able to get them and then work our way back.
Yeah. So yeah, how does Varpu react to this news from Aseri?
So let's see. He came at the end. Okay, it was like the next day after you guys everybody drank the honeybees and stuff. The plan that they appear, so knowing that the hand is going to arrive at some point in, maybe a week, maybe a week and a half, who knows. They appear, Asari is very determined to return to Ledevisi and with in force and uh, uh, rescue his two companions who are captured there. And Varpu seems totally on board with that idea. So they are not thinking about the hand. They're totally focused on this immediate problem,
Mm-hmm.
with the intent of either breaking out the captured folks or getting rid of the word keepers who are in Ledevisi, and then recovering the captured folks. So that appears to be their priority.
I guess I kind of want to wait a couple seconds for Jan to get back.
Donna, your room is compared to the rest of us, your room is such a glowing golden box.
I think someone really liked yellow.
That's pretty nice. Our living room in Seattle used to be that color. It was a very nice place to be.
Sorry, I could hear you guys. I just had to go to the bathroom. What were you going to say, John?
Oh, I wanted you to be here for when I say that, if that's what Varpu and Aseri think that they should do, we need to make the pitch. We should pitch them our idea. And I don't know, I feel like Paiviki would be the best one to make that pitch, with
I
Taimi
agree.
being a hype person.
Okay.
An aggressive, arms folded, nodding solemnly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, there's so much going on, and I understand wanting to free those people for sure. That's tempting too, because those are the folks that would be most likely to fight with us. And if they're in jail or going to get executed or whatever, then that would be tragic. Maybe we go capture the hand and then go to Ledevesi. I don't know. We just do it all real quick. It's funny because both of the towns are being sort of held hostage in a way. That's the kind of danger that we're facing, is that there's all these soldiers in both of the towns. So unless we can strike really quickly and by surprise, they could end up using people as hostages and whatnot. But yeah, let's propose our plan. I think.
So around midday, it's overcast. There was like a light rain in the morning. Things are a little damp. People are going about their business. There's a couple people have gone off to go foraging. And you, request to speak with Varpu and Aseri, and they meet with you. Is it just Paiviki or the whole gang?
The whole gang.
Okay, so the three of you, leaving Annika, but not Annika and Topias, right?
Maybe not. What do you think?
I know that like the meta here is that like we're the three humans, but I think in the fiction, like both of them have proven their worth. Like, Taimi would be comfortable with considering them like members of our council until they decide otherwise.
I think that's fine with me. I would just wonder what their counsel is before we take it to Varpu. What does Annika and Topias have to say about this plan?
Yeah, if that puts too many cooks in the kitchen, I also think that like we can just do a little bit of hand waving and say that they aren't in our 5-person council.
Like a quick, if you want to run your plans by those guys, I can tell you they're kind of quick responses if that's would be useful.
Yeah.
Topias is totally down with. Topias is basically, he's like a loyal companion, and he will do. But he's not a leader, so he will do whatever you guys think is best. Even though his injuries have to do with following you on this adventure, it's still the greatest thing that's ever happened in his life. So Topias is on board with whatever you want to do. Annika is totally down for the most daring of the two plans, which I think is confronting this priest who is supposed to have these special powers. I think that's the thing that Annika is most in favor of. But you know, and Taimi in particular knows that comes out of Annika's kind of, it's not really a thrill-seeking streak, but you know, she's daring, and that's the kind of thing that she'd be into. So Varpu and Asari meet you on the hill. You know, the cave is in this rocky kind of hill, and they meet you sort of on top and a little behind, sort of out of sight of the main campsite, so nobody's gonna like listen in.
And Vaiviki says, we've had counsel, and this is our thinking that it's time to cut off the hand. This is the time for all the people of this area to come together, and we have to stop fighting our little squabbles and take it more seriously. So our proposal is to stop the hand before he gets to Reuna, and then liberate Reuna and Ladavesi. Right now, they are on alert in Ladavesi and ready for conflict. So I think the biggest to act in surprise would be to go after the hand, which I think would be unexpected at this moment.
They are ready for conflict in the mountains, and we will take it to them. We must act swiftly, else Hela and Maiki meet their end, as Naimi did. There is no question about this. There will be no other plan. This is what we will do.
Who said
what
that?
we will do. This is Varpu talking.
Ah, yeah.
And Asari is clearly, you know, Asari's not really saying anything, but like he's kind of giving you a kind of dead-eyed stare, and you can tell that they're both on the same page.
We're no strangers to having people you care about in the grips of the Colkeen. When we left Reuna, it was with great sadness that we left our village in the clutches of those villains. And we understand how you feel to see the ones that you care about be in their custody, to see your village be under their heel.
What was that?
It was fireworks, I guess.
Jeez.
But don't you see the opportunity here? You know, if we let the hand get to Reuna, they won't come alone. They'll bring reinforcements. You might be looking at 2 times the amount of word keepers in Reuna. Your task will become infinitely more difficult. And you speak, they speak of powers that the hand has, unknowable powers, and Taimi clenches her fist. I felt those powers. I was under the thrall of magic. I felt my body being twisted, my insides turned sour by its wicked grasp. And I know the only way to fight those sorts of powers is with magic itself. Magic, and I point, that Vaiviki has.
Is this the first? Have you guys told stories about Paiviki's magic yet? Is this the first they've heard of this?
I assume that we have, because we talked about doing the C-3PO Ewok Village like recap of our adventures.
Sure.
Yes, you left Reuna. You left. And while you were gone, more of them came. You abandoned your people. And now you return, and you expect us to follow your plan according to your priorities. This is what we will do. What you do is your business. But I and my crew and Asari We'll go into the mountains and we will free our allies, and we will remove the word keepers from La Devesi for good.
I look at Varpu a little betrayed, because I thought that we were. I thought that we were of the same mind.
Right.
And that I feel disappointed that she doesn't see this opportunity. The knowledge they have, if we go to the mountains, the hand could slip through our fingers. That knowledge would be lost. Knowledge that we could use to free other towns. We could really hurt them.
Oh, we will hurt them, but we will hurt them first in the mountains. And then we will sweep across the land as our numbers grow. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish.
That's all.
Do you have the numbers to win the battle in La Devesi right now?
We will ambush them at night. There are 9 of us. Oh, and then Aseri kind of like makes a gesture, and Varpu says 8. I suppose Arna will not be of much help.
Right.
Don't count Arno out.
I fear for your safety. I wish you the best, but I'm afraid that they're going to be ready for you. If they already captured your 3 friends and killed one of them.
They do not know that Aseri and I are in league. From their perspective, 4 rebels entered the village. 1 was captured and executed. The other 2 were captured, and 1 rebel escaped. They do not fear 1 rebel returning. They do not know our number. I was a word keeper. I know how they feel.
But how do you propose to fight word keepers with crossbows and chainmail and swords? I don't see these. I don't see these weapons and armor here.
I have mine still, and I have trained. But it will not be an open fight. It will be under cover of darkness. We will surprise them and end things swiftly. We have friends in La Devesi who will help us.
Maybe we should have our own council.
Who's we, the 3 of you guys?
Yeah. Yeah. We want to go through with this plan. I'm afraid that we're going to lose some of our friends on their fight if we split up.
You're afraid that some of them are going to die?
Yeah, they're going to lose. Or
I'm afraid that, I'm afraid if we don't have their backing, that some of us might die.
yeah.
The hand is going to have their fingers, whatever their elite guard is called.
Look out for the thumb.
Yeah, they wear big hats that have just a big thumbnail looking thing on it.
Well, here's a question. Could we not do both? I mean, I wonder if we, how far is La Devesi, and we could get there in a day or 2?
Probably if you really kind of force marched it, well, it's uphill through the mountains. 2 days?
2 days.
I think it's really unlikely. I mean, if it's within a week and the capital is only 3 days travel from Reuna, it just seems.
Well, that's the question: is when is the hand expected? We don't know. Right?
At the earliest 4 days, at the latest 10.
Yeah. So we could go to La Devesi, win the battle there, and then come right back and sneak around Reuna and capture the hand before he gets to Reuna, and then like this. Ugh.
Muirin has a ruthless suggestion to Paiviki. This is your decision to make, Paiviki, but I think you could convince Varpu's gang, if not Varpu herself, and take her group from them. If what we need are numbers, we don't necessarily need her leadership. I think they were impressed by you, and you gave them, you showed them your strengths and your generosity. And if you could at least take half.
If we took half, then they definitely would fail in their plan. I think if we took any of them, they would definitely fail in their plan, just because.
And Varpu would become our enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have a new enemy, and we'd have the other guys would lose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed in Varpu, but I don't want to make an enemy of her.
Yeah.
Like, I would be happy to pincer. I mean, if we could get a couple Reunans to come with us, that might be enough to like get the hand, and if they get Ledevisi, and then we pincer Reuna.
Yeah. We could try to get somebody to come along with us. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't Sais is still
Sais?
Sais, Yarko's dicking around.
Got nothing
Poor
to do.
Yarko.
Oh, poor yeah. Poor Yarko.
Get the gang back together.
Oh my god. Those level zeros.
You guys haven't been training.
I think they might all technically be level 1 at this point because they survived the funnel.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So is that something that we should suggest as a plan? It's like, okay, we get it. We're not in a position to, or what do you think about Muirin's idea, Paiviki, of luring them away?
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I would feel bad. I mean, partly just because I think that those guys would be really useful allies. Those two who are adamant about this plan are like probably the best allies of the group. So we don't want to alienate them. These guys are like they're underlings.
And then suddenly you'd be responsible for a whole group of people.
Yeah, that's hard too. But no, I mean, I would be more inclined either to do our own solo mission to go after the hand, or to go with them and to help them accomplish their goals, and then sweep the other way. Maybe we could still get back to ambush the hand beforehand. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'd have to leave the cart and go faster, but.
Oh, 100%. Oh, we'd have to leave a lot of the stuff here in this kind of default HQ.
Yeah.
I might be metagaming a little bit here, but like I really feel all it takes is like 2 bad rolls and 2 moves on Jason's part, and like we'll miss the hand.
Yeah, sure.
But in fiction, I think Taimi still thinks that like, yeah, I mean, the chance that like if the hand has a small contingent and we know that there's 8 word keepers, we might be looking at 12, 15 word keepers surrounding a word giver, a Sari or Elmeri, and a hand. Like that's borderline like fortress there.
Right. I mean, if the hand makes it to Reuna.
Yeah, if the hand makes it. If we miscalculate the time.
But on the other hand, we would also have a bit of an army behind us if we succeeded in La Devesi, because we'd probably be able to get people to come with us.
I I'm not sure if that's a guarantee.
No, maybe not. But
Yeah.
we would at least be able to win over their goodwill if we help them.
Sure.
If we took the hand, if we went after the hand and then did the pincer move, then we would also not be guaranteed that they would help us take over Reuna.
That's true too.
But they
Yeah.
probably would. They probably would.
There's also the chance that we help them at Ledevisi and they don't help us take over Reuna. You know, something could change. If Varpu dies, then I think, you know, besides Maruka, the impetus to fight for Reuna withers a little bit.
Well, then Paiviki will be the new default leader. Maybe.
You just got to wrestle Aseri.
Yeah, or Ralph.
Anyway, so I think Taimi would lean towards grabbing some people in Reuna and trying to accomplish this kind of larger scale pincer move.
Yeah.
Not, you know, making sure that we don't lose the hand. But in fiction, if you totally provide like a, you know, she can be convinced otherwise. Weirin?
I think Weirin feels sympathy for both causes, and I think Weirin's opinion is wishy-washy, and that the fight will be better if we go with Varpu, versus if we took the hand ourselves. However, I think Weirin just wants to share that I think we have to be okay with sacrificing one for the other, because there is no guarantee we can do both. And if we went into it thinking we could do both, we may end up losing both.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that would make Taimi more comfortable about going to Ledevisi would be like some sort of oath from Varpu and Aseri that like they wouldn't lose their focus and that like they would not turn their back on Reuna.
Right. Like truly get rid of all of the word keepers as she just.
I don't know if Varpu would be into taking an oath.
Oh, Doi? Yeah. Yeah, duh.
Like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm done with oaths.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
I was just running over the lines in my head what she was actually going to say. You figured that out.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those things of like actions are speak louder than words. And if we show our good faith by helping them capture their town, that they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to help us capture our town, they can. If not.
I mean, that's a lose-lose scenario for us. Like, that would be rough. That would be rough if we.
No,
like,
I don't think they would. I don't think they would. But
I don't think they would. I don't think they would either. I mean, Varpu's being, and maybe it's because of the conflict or like the power, you know, the wrestling match, but she's being awfully single-minded.
Yeah, I think it's also. I mean, their friend got killed, and the other ones are captured, so they're just like, this is what we have to do.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. I mean, I think they don't have allies in Rayuna right now, so they do have allies in La Devesi, so that's where they're going, which makes sense. It's like a strategically, our idea of going after the hand is like the crazy A-team version of how
Well-
battles are fought.
Well, I mean, like, what if we pitch doing Lavesi and then like going around Rayuna, and instead of doing Rayuna and then the hand, try to intercept the hand.
Yeah, that's what I would try to do.
I would be comfortable pitching that.
Yeah, we do it all like lightning quick. We get up there, we free La Devesi, and we just head right back down again, and we get the hand before the hand learns what happened in La Devesi.
Yeah, well, as long as nobody, there's no witness carries the news to the hand, then one can assume that the hand, if you
Right,
guys
we
pull
have
it
to-
off, the hand
have to-
won't learn that. Yeah.
We would have to capture or kill everybody and get back faster than anybody could get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's if the hand has some sort of like psychic link with what's happening, then we're screwed. But
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of magic stuff. You know, there could be a Palantir, you know,
yeah,
in what do you call it?
we don't know about that. He's got a Palantir in his pocket. We propose that counter plan.
I'm comfortable with that.
Which is all eggs in the La Devesi basket, and then you assist them in that task, and then circumvent Rayuna to intercept the hand. Is that, am I understanding that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go back to them with that plan. Varpu. Varpu would rather you guys don't come along, and it's very clear that her pride is very injured, and that she really wishes you guys had never shown up. But Aseri recognizes the value in your alliance, and she kind of concedes to his wishes on that. So he have of course heard of you, and you haven't had many interactions with him since he got back, but all of his intent is on rescuing these two friends of his, and any help that they can get to that end, he wants. So he is in favor of you joining them.
Yeah.
And is he in favor of this lightning fast turn right around and try to capture the hand after La Devesi?
He says, we'll talk about that once the first step is done.
Ooh.
That's all he's willing to commit to. Because he wants to see proof of he wants to see you prove yourselves. So that's kind of his counter. His counter is, let's see how you do in La Devesi, and if you prove yourselves, that he will agree. He does agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Out of character. These guys are bozos. Like these guys really, I mean, last night she was talking about these big plans of, like creating a front to like ward them off. Like she claims to have this, 50-yard vision of what's going on, but she doesn't, Taimi's opinion of her as a leader is quickly diminishing.
And I think that Paiviki is going to try to make a play with. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting how to say her name.
Varpu?
Varpu, thank you.
Yeah.
I keep on wanting to call her La Devisi.
All these
My head
crazy
is
names,
overloaded with Finnish
yeah.
words.
Yeah.
With Varpu, and she just wants to kind of outside of the maybe slightly outside of the group and just be like, you know, we're sisters in this.
Mm.
We don't have, I don't have any conflict with you. We see things differently, and that's fine. But we should work together in all things. I meant only to test you yesterday, not to diminish you or usurp power from you. It's, you know, we can be friends and work together in all things. And then she could go on, you know, growing up, I was never friends with anyone until I wrestled them.
Oh man.
Ooh, that's good.
And you're the first person that I've seen in a while that seemed like a challenge to me. So that's all I really wanted to do. But I understand if you don't want us to be here.
Growing up, I fought people too, but only to show them who was stronger. You have shamed me in front of my followers. We are not sisters. You will come with us and you will help us do this thing. After that, I do not care what you do.
Just because you grew up to show who is stronger from fighting, why not leave that behind?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then she's gonna keep on working her.
Jesus.
You took the step to leave the word keepers. Just leave it behind.
Oh my God. You're trying to change her character. You're
That's what
trying
I'm
to.
working on.
Jesus. Okay, boy. This is just, you're gonna negotiate.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and this is just to get the wedge in. This is not gonna actually change Barpu's character in the moment, but this is just to open up the possibility, because given Varpu's character traits, and like the reason that you guys didn't, you know, when you went to her with your plan, there was no actual negotiation there because they had their plan set in stone. That was all based on their personalities. But you are appealing, man, yeah. So you can negotiate to just open up the possibility that Varpu may have room in her heart.
Well, we need, yeah, there's that. We also need serious allies.
Yeah.
If these guys are gonna be like ninjas about this whole thing, we're gonna be by ourselves.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so when you want something from someone they don't want to give up, and boy, does Varpu not want to give this up, you're going to roll charisma. And that is, golly, Haiviki with a charisma of 16, right?
Yeah. I rolled a 10 or an 8 plus 2.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you know, she has this habit of just like staring through people, right? These cold blue eyes. she looks at people as if they're not there. They're just meaningless. They're useful tools to this end, which she has sort of set her mind on. You've witnessed no sign of compassion or care for any member of her gang. She seems to lead them by sheer, she's just like a big, impressive person. When you say that and you sort of offer her that possibility, and you can tell that when you brought up your childhood in wrestling, and then she thought about her childhood, this was the story of Varpu. Like, she has her story about who she is. And then you make that overture, and there's a moment when her eyes focus on you. And this is a moment where she's looking past the shame that she feels, past the, like, what you have come to stand, and Muirin in particular has come to perceive as a very profound resentment at your actions. And there's a moment where her eyes actually focus on you, and she's looking you in the eyes, and there's just the slightest kind of acknowledgement of your existence as a human being. Like, she hears you. And then the facade returns, and she's stony faced. And she says, "Oh, we will do this thing, and we will see how much of a hero the great Paiviki really is."
I'm looking forward to finding that out too.
About yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Did not expect that to happen. Okay, so I think this is all happening. That was all midday into afternoon. So if you guys are going to set off for La Devasine, it's a 2-day trip. If you book it, it seems like one night's rest, early rise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, did we still want to at the very least, get the books? I mean, what's there? Depending on what route they're going, maybe we can detour and just get the books and then meet up with them again.
I don't think the books fit into this plan. I wish they did, but it's like to learn a new spell.
Oh, it would take a long time, right?
Well, I mean, to learn a spell would take a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be hard to study on the road at a forced march.
Okay.
Yeah. The route is going to take you through the Motherwood, actually, which is Taimi's turf. So you guys will be coming out of the Highlands, and then in order to skirt Rayona without being seen, you're going to have to use the cover of the Motherwood to pass around, and then get onto the mountain road, which will take you higher up.
I mean, we could try to grab the books, just to run, swing by and reunite, just so that if we're waiting in the woods for the hand or whatever, that we've got some good reading material.
Certainly, like, somebody like Muirin could break off from the main group and go try to retrieve them and then come back, right? Because Muirin's fast and
Stealthy.
would be able, and stealthy, and would be able to do that. Yeah. So for this mission, Arno will be staying at the cave. So Arno will be kind of guarding the cart and everything else there. And what about Topias?
What
he-
shape is he in?
What's that?
What shape is he in?
He's he can walk fine. He doesn't have, it's very painful for him to use his right arm. And most of the time his arm's in a sling just to relieve the pain. But he can't really. That's his good arm, like the arm that he uses for things. So he seems like probably a liability unless he was going to be in some kind of support role where he wasn't directly involved in the action.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think, crew? We could ask him to stay.
Um,
and it seems your estimation is that Arno and Topias, Arno's a little gruff, but it seems like there doesn't seem like there would be any obvious tension there between the two of them.
I would continue just to put the choice in his hands. I think he's earned it.
What do you think, Donna?
Given the choice,
I would-
given the choice, he will come with you.
Yeah, I would ask him to take a different mission and head to Reuna and act as a sort of like as a scout, and secretly, well, he'd have a cover story of saying he's back and we're nowhere near him, but be secretly sort of inspiring the villagers that there's going to be a rescue at some.
Wow.
To find like someone like Esais to join.
Sort of like build a network among the people that you
Right.
trust most in the village.
Can we get a read on, from what we know of Topias, do you think he would be up for bold-faced lying to El Mary and not breaking?
He is totally up for that.
Okay.
Topias is no longer a boy, and he is like understands the stakes of what's happening and cares deeply about his family and you guys, and would have no problem at all lying to people for the right reasons.
Yeah, no, I just was wondering if he, some people are terrible liars.
Oh yeah. No, he'd be fine with that. I mean, he seems like he would be a competent liar.
I think that would actually be an excellent role if he'd be up for it. What do you think, Taimi?
I think that's fine. I agree.
So send Topias into town on his own, and what's the story? What story would he tell? Like, are the heroes of Reuna missing? Are they dead? What happened?
I think the best story is mostly mostly the truth. So like I think the story is just that like we traveled to the base of that waterfall and we adventured in that cave and we succumbed to that goblin guy, the Pyko, and his magic, and he barely escaped with his life.
And Topias barely escaped.
Did we make it to Saltwall?
No, because then he's going to have to talk about like what we did in Saltwall and bring up the word keepers, and then if that gets back, then that could get shady. That's Taimi's opinion.
But would that makes sense? But would that take 3 months or however long we did that?
I mean, I think that he could also fudge about that. He could also fudge that we traveled around more.
Yeah, that you adventured in the wilderness, and
yeah,
I mean, he could tell the whole story of getting all the way to Saltwall and just not say that Saltwall was there, right? You guys went and saw the Southern Ocean or whatever, and then
yeah, we said goodbye to Durban and then left him there, and he said, and then we headed back and all kinds of, and that basically on our way back we went to this cave, and that was the end of us. I like that story.
Yeah, that's a good story, Taimi.
So that would be the public tale, and then privately he would let Tinny and whoever else was trusted that you guys were actually alive, because that would get them ready for what was going to happen next? Or do you want the whole story to be that you guys are dead or missing or whatever?
I think spreading the word secretly.
Okay.
What do you guys think? I mean, it would have to be like a picked group of people who were privy to that information.
Yeah.
Maybe our old gang.
Oh yeah.
Right. Costi the cobbler and
Yeah.
everybody. Sure. So yeah, and Topias knows who can be, you guys all know who in the village can be trusted, who can't. And with Tinny as your kind of main
Yeah.
liaison, Tinny would certainly be able to advise on that. Okay, so there'll be a public story and a private story.
Yeah.
Great. And you guys, Topias will join you through the Motherwood and then at a certain port break off and, or will you have him return to Raina from the south the same way you guys left, overland?
I think so, probably.
Yeah, from the south.
So like when you get to the edge of the woods, he'll head off towards the village like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that his arm is in a sling too, and it's convincing. I mean, he's got like all kinds of injuries. It's not like, that's pretty legit.
And like nothing but his backpack, some food, nothing special.
Yeah. Well, let's look at what's in his personal stock. Where's my pen?
Definitely no crossbow.
Yeah. Yeah, the crossbow and extra bundle of bolts. I'm gonna move those back to the cart.
I think maybe he would still have my hatchet. He could be like, this is
All that's left.
this is all that's left of Paiviki.
That's awesome.
Okay, great.
I mean, that means that we have 2 heavy crossbows to give to people.
We had 4 altogether, right?
Yep.
I think, I mean, wouldn't Mirren want to use one? Because she's so, she's got such good aim. It's not, it's a heavy weapon, but it's,
So all of you, so does that mean the 4 of us would all have a crossbow?
Including Annika?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, in the last like big fight in the cave, I didn't really use the crossbow, and I think with magic and stuff, it's in some ways better for Paiviki to have her hands free.
Right. Okay, yeah, no, Mirren wants to use the crossbow. If there's an extra.
I could maybe even lend one to one of the gang.
Oh, so that you just won't have a crossbow. You won't be one of the missile.
I mean, just for the fight, I could say, "Here, Maruka, hold this. Use it well," or whatever.
Okay, great.
And then what is the weight of the crossbow? Is it just
1?
Okay.
But then you're also gonna want an extra bundle of bolts.
Your bolts weigh 1 also.
Yeah. I'm moving stuff around. I took 2 bundles of bolts. I left my bundle of bolt that only had 1 ammo on it. I just moved Paiviki or Topias' stuff back into the cart. And now because I'm gonna leave my broken chainmail because no one, well, actually no, there's that Smith guy.
Yep.
The part of the gang who's a Smith, but we don't have the time. We don't have the time.
I remember you asked someone asked him to repair it last time.
Yeah, I asked Varpu, but she was like, "I don't know you. Fuck you."
I think that between, if you guys are spending one more night and this conclusion has been reached in the late afternoon, I think that Rolf can patch up your chainmail.
Ooh, Rolf. My
Rolf.
lord.
Bam.
You know what? I'm gonna give him. What do I have on me? I'm gonna give him my soap. Not like no. I'm gonna give him half. I'm gonna give him half of my soap. I'm gonna cut my soap, give him half of it. Not
All
as
right.
anything like I think you're dirty, but just like I got this in my adventures. It has this this interesting fragrance, and I found it to be relaxing to like use it to scrub on my hands at night.
He accepts it wordlessly, and you realize that he, in his state of mind, having lost his love, that he's something like soap is, or most things are probably meaningless to him right now, but he does accept
Okay, well, enjoy half a soap bar. Okay, thank you. Chainmail is back up. We're back, baby.
Can I have a bunch of bolts, John, from the cart?
Absolutely. I'll take them off the cart.
What is the ammo for each one? Yeah.
3.
Okay, thank you.
And in fact, now what am I at? No, I'm back up to 10. Yeah, so I want to keep that one weight open as flex in case I find a weight 1 gemstone.
it. Yeah, so Donna, all you need to know about that, I mean, you're probably still within your weight capacity, but it is like a pretty bulky thing.
Yeah.
So when Mirren needs to like do something stealthy or sneaky, in this situation, it just might be something you need to like set aside in order to accomplish that. So just that's the only drawback, that it has like a
Right. I
adds
actually
to
think
your
I might be
profile.
over. What was the weight? The carry capacity.
For a thief,
Yeah, it's just the
is
strength.
yeah, it's your strength modifier plus, I don't have it memorized, but I can check. I don't know where the character sheet is.
Annika is a little bit over her capacity.
So it's fine for traveling and whatnot. It's only an issue when
Okay.
it's a tight spot. So not, if something's going to call for more like agility or whatever, things can be dropped in order to make that happen. Donna, the thief's capacity is strength plus 6, strength modifier plus 6.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I am right at capacity then.
Okay, then you're fine.
I'm a little bit under capacity since I am not carrying that crossbow. Would Annika want to give Paiviki something?
You could take. No, I don't think so. Chainmail, crossbow, short sword, bolts, rations, adventuring gear. You could take.
Already.
I didn't pack rations. Do we have food?
I mean, if we're going to go through the Motherwood, I was planning to stock up there, but yeah, I'm out of rations.
You're
I think I'm
actually
too.
out. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last feast where we shared the rock lobster.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you guys had sort of that you that you got here just in time, really.
Yeah, I don't remember if I have any food or not.
So, who's got the lowest luck? We got 13 to 12. Yeah, so we're a Nick-a-luck roll.
Is that 1d6 or 2d6?
No modifier because you're luck at 12.
Okay. It's an 8.
Okay. So these guys, they've got enough. They've got some food stockpiled from their various foraging stuff. They've got enough for one set of rations, which is 7 individual rations that they can hand off to you guys. So that 7 uses of rations, I should say.
For
And
all
that-
for
so
all 4 of us, or each?
For all four of you. Yeah, so one, it's weighs 1, and there's 7 uses in there.
I've got 3 rations I found in my sheet, so I could take that. I could carry all the food if you want. That would be 10.
And
Sure.
everybody's got to eat tonight too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's easy.
Well, then I'll cross 3 off, and then we'll have 7.
You'll cross plus Anika and Topias.
Oh, then we'll have 5.
And you said 4 of us. Is Topia staying here?
Oh,
No, Topias is going to town. Sorry.
Yep.
Got it.
so I'll take off 5, and then we have 5 left.
Okay. And this is that'll get you to La Devacy because
Yeah.
you're gonna basically, you'll probably rest for like a couple of hours, but you're not gonna be spending the night. So you got enough food to carry you on the trail. Great. Everybody's noted what they have on them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And John, thank you for tracking Anika's stuff. It's very helpful. That night, you're going to pass the night. And I'll have, this is +2. This is unsafe, so it's +2. And let's have, John, will you roll 2d6 +2 to pass the night?
9 + 2, 11.
Everyone gets restful sleep. Those who ate and drank get both benefits from the list below. You heal 1 plus your con modifier worth of hit points and/or ability points. And you awaken refreshed. Take +1 forward to your next roll of the day.
Yay.
It's a restful sleep.
Wow.
The sun breaks in the east over the low hills, illuminating the tops of the rocky outcroppings of the highlands. Sorry, but you're out before the sun, actually. You guys are getting an early start, so it's actually still dark when Aseri rouses everyone. You packed the night before, so everybody basically wakes up, pulls on their backpacks, and rubs their eyes and sets off in a ragged line across the highlands.
I take a quick moment and I pat Topias on the shoulder. You really surprised me out there. And I don't know, and I don't mean that to be an insult. But you surprised me in a good way. And then my eyes kind of go towards Taimi, or Paiviki, and I say, she sees you. And good luck. And I give him another hearty pat.
Roll to keep company.
Okay.
That was sweet. Do you have any bonds with him? You do, don't you?
I do. Do I get pluses for those bonds?
Yeah, you get however many you have.
Let me scroll down. Good, because I rolled a 6, so that's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, so you can gain another bond. He can gain a bond with you, or you can refresh all marked bonds.
I don't know if Topias has a bond with me.
He does. He has 1.
Give him a bond with me.
Okay, got it. Man, Topias could really help you guys out. He's got 2 bonds with Taimi, 2 bonds with Paiviki, 1 bond with Miran, and 1 bond with Anika. he's like the helper.
Wow.
He's ready to go. Okay, great. He says, I know she does.
Yeah.
But thank you all the same. And by sun breaks. uh, by late morning, you guys you top a ridge and you're looking down on you can see the Motherwood, Taimi's old hunting ground, kind of sweeping off into the distance to the left, and then you see the hill upon which your village rests. And this is the first time you have seen it in, 3 months, basically. Back home. From Weirin, it's just another place. Weirin the Wanderer.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've been here before. How does Paiviki feel when she sees Rayuna?
I think with a new, it looks very small, I think, her. But she also has some strange feelings because that's where she grew up, just like all kind of coming back and realizing, wow, I'm a very different person than I was when I left. Yeah, and I think she feels like a new kind of responsibility for her town, and that kind of feels a little heavy.
Mm, yeah, some mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Great. Weirin, how do you see when you see this human village again?
Uh, Definitely fondness as well. And I'd say she has sort of like a renewed commitment to uh, getting rid of the word keepers here based on that experience in Salt Wall too, making the oath to protect Salt Wall, and sort of feeling like these two towns are connected.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, in more ways than one. There's the exchange of gifts, there's the exchange of people between the two, but the presence of the Corkine as well is another way. Great, thank you. And Taimi, how about you when you see the Motherwood and the village?
I feel as if, like, probably from the distance that we're viewing the village, it's not like I can see like a Colkeen flag flying over it, or like they haven't constructed a large effigy to the Corva, like in the center of town. But it looks as if someone has graffitied my favorite donut place. Like at the I feel looking at it, I know that they're like just under the heel. It's like a big middle finger to me, and I have to clench my fists to stop from just being like, I think we should go for, like, I think we should go beat them up right now. Like, Taimi's trying to learn about this idea of bigger picture stuff, but it's difficult to see it.
Oh, great. So like you have the urge there is to just go right into town and
Yeah.
nice.
I think Paiviki sees Taimi's jaw clenching and is kind of like, "We'll be back." Before you know it.
Yeah, she just like shakes her head, and she forcibly turns herself away because she doesn't want to look at it. It looks, graffitied or sullied or something. Great. Even though it looks exactly the same at a distance.
Right. Excellent. Love it. Yeah, and I think at this point, like dawn's light is actually touching the hillside as you're looking at it there. And then you guys descend down some sloping hills, and then to the edge of the Motherwood where you bid Tapias farewell. He clasps each of your arms in turn. This is the first time that he'll be, well, you left him for a little while in Saltwall, but this is the first time, this is a big deal. This is some pretty heavy stakes here, and he doesn't linger on it, but he gives you each a kind of heartfelt farewell.
I think Vicky says, "It's up to you now, and I wouldn't trust it with anyone else." We'll be back soon.
He has no words. He's a little choked up with that feeling of being responsible for his people. And then Topias turns with his Paiviki's dinged up hatchet and a backpack in his arm, in the makeshift sling, and heads off across the grassland. And the rest of you turn and enter the dark woods. And we will call it there for the night. That's some good plans. Sometimes planning sessions can really be like, I don't know, they can feel like they could drag out or get in the way, but I felt very engaged with all the planning you guys did. I feel like some meaningful decisions had to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I know that there might be consequences to our decisions, but on the short term, these guys have a better chance if we're there, and we have a better chance if we have more people on our side. And that makes sense. But we just might have to live with the fact that, like, it might have been, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6 to take the hand, and it might be an 8 because of the decision we make.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We'll see.
it's fine.
We'll see. Maybe we might still get him in the woods.
Which is it Huck Finn or Tom Sawyer that there's like the whole isn't it Tom Sawyer where he pretends to be dead and he like watches his own funeral?
Oh.
God, I can't remember.
And then he like falls down from the rafters. I can't wait to Tom Sawyer El Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, right. Of all the people you want to believe that you're dead, it's him, just so you can see his face.
Oh, the look on his face.
Yeah. So we'll just do a quick wrap up. I mean, this was mostly a kind of hangout at camp session. So fighters didn't really have it. Fighters, yeah. So class stuff, nothing really happened. They anybody feel any traits? Muirin made a ruthless suggestion.
I did.
You get XP for that.
Thanks.
We got. Oh, man.
I got frustrated with Varpu for kind of.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Being short-sighted.
Yep.
I think I'm the opposite of boastful.
Yeah, you were like, you showed humility. And like, remember, feel free to alter traits to suit your vision of where you want your character to go. I know that Paiviki's already gone through some changes, but like.
Yeah, I might do that.
Because
I would argue that there's like a level of boldness for basically challenge a grown adult's worldview when you were like, you don't have to think that way anymore, Bart.
Mm-hmm. No, I buy that. Yep.
I mean, maybe that's just John Sturgeon thinking that would be a bold thing in 2020 to do to someone.
I mean, it was really bold because I was taken aback. I like as the judge, right? Like, I was not okay. I was like, this is who Varpu is, da 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 da, and like that's particularly it's particularly bold to take on Varpu in that area of like feelings. Right. So yeah, you get an XP for that.
Okay.
Make an exciting discovery.
No.
Did you overcome a difficult obstacle? I would say. I mean, yes, because exactly of what we were just talking about. Paiviki overcame the obstacle of Varpu's steely persona.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the XP though.
Okay.
Did you acquire some memorable booty? No. All right. Everybody is currently 5th level.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get the Steve point for suggesting that Topias is like a scout for us and doing a double story? I guess it's like, is it sneaky? It's not like I am sneaky.
No, the XP is if you solve the problem with stealth or trickery.
So it's deceitful.
Yeah, no, it totally counts as trickery. It's totally trickery. I don't know if you've solved the problem yet, unless you
That's
can,
true.
unless, like, what was the problem that was solved? What to do with the PS?
Yeah.
I mean,
and in that sense, then it was actually not trickery because it was very straightforward.
no, it's not what to do with Tobias. It's the problem of how to spread the word in Rayuna and how to deal with, that whole subterfuge. That's the tricky part.
Yeah. So presuming that it goes as planned, you get the XP. So let's just give you the XP because we're gonna, it's not like Topias will necessarily be found out. It seems like a pretty straightforward disinformation campaign. So if he only talks to people who he and Tinny trust, yeah, it should work out. So yeah, you get an XP for that. That's a good one. And it was an awesome suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just preemptively take that. Hopefully, and cross our fingers.
I love the idea of capturing, if we can, La Divisi and the hand, and then showing up in Rayuna being presumed dead.
That would be a hat trick.
It would.
Oh boy. The stakes. The stakes are high. Okay. I think that's it
Yeah.
for the evening. Thanks, you all. Or how are we thinking for next week?
Yeah, let me just double check.
I'm good.
Okay, I might need to cancel next week, but I can let you know.
Okay.
I think it depends on.
The fire's
my
raging
sister was-
across.
Right. So if the fire's raging, then I can play. My sister was supposed to visit us, and so I'm like thinking whether she should not visit us. So yeah.
Because I see. Yeah, well, let's just leave it up in the air. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
We'll just check in about it.
I will know by Sunday, so I'll tell you.
John, were you going to say something?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Great. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks.
Good night.
It's so yellow.
What, where you are?
I can't stand it.
All right. Farewell.
Bye.